So today we're going to have a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine who is, well, just a really sweet guy, but also launching a new business. And I want everybody to know about it because, because some of this is going to be my Christmas gifts this year. And I think that it's important that we support each other, especially because of this whole pandemic thing, support each other in local business and or global business, but not big box business, right? Okay, well, you can do big box, but what the hey. So anyway, I want to welcome my friend Russell Martin. Russell, thanks for the conversation here today.
Susan, it's a pleasure to join you. I appreciate it.
So Russell and I have known each other. Well, we haven't seen each other in a few years, but we knew each other back when I was living in Ojai, and we were doing some work with the Ojai Film Festival.
We're both on the board of the Ojai Film Festival. That's right.
Yeah, which was kind of fun and kind of interesting. But so then Russell sent me something about this new business, and I was intrigued. And it's called One Planet, One People, One Hope. And you guys, I'm going to tell you the website at the top and at the back end of this, because I think you need to go and look at it. It's called onepeopleonehope.com. So Russell, explain to everybody. So what it is, well, explain to everybody what it is.
It's an online store that focuses on apparel, shirts and caps principally, that attempt to spread the reality, the truth, the big truth, that all of us everywhere are one people, that we that the divisions that certain sorts of folks want to convince us exist really don't. We're all the same. We are male and female. We're much more alike than we are different. And I had been intrigued long ago by the pictographic character. Most people in the U.S. know the pictographic characters in Asian languages as kanji, which is a Japanese word. And the kanji character or the pictographic character for a human being is a kind of inverted Y. It's a gorgeous, lovely, simple symbol. And I thought, that's kind of meaningful. It's more than kind of, it's truly meaningful that of all the, two dozen or so Asian pictographic languages, the visual character for humankind or a person or humankind is the same. And I thought that's actually symbolic and resonant of the fact that we are the same. And I thought, someday I should do something with that. And finally now, in 2021, here's us, my wife Sharon and me, setting out to see what becomes of this. We're hopeful. We sell products that have this gorgeous kanji symbol. We sell products that have the peace symbol backed by popular demand from the 1950s. A number of different symbols, and throughout we incorporate our tagline, which, as you said, is one planet, one people, one hope. And it's those are just 6 words that we believe in and want to share widely. And we thought that this simple online business is a good way for us to do that and do what we can by way of spreading this message. It's a message that people spread in a lot of ways. And as you know, people love to wear shirts that say things on them and caps that say things on them. So we thought, let's give this a shot. And it's just one of the many things we do, but we're underway for just 2 or 3 weeks now, and it's exciting. It's fun.
Well, so this is why it caught my attention. So when I have a son who's 27 now, Russell, and when he was growing up, we would go shopping, right? He'd want to go get there was something, Orange County Bikers or something like that. He wanted to have, a shirt on his chest or this is before pot got kind of legalized everywhere, but like guys smoking pot he was a teenager. And I had to say no. I said, no, whatever you put on your body, you are advertising that thing. So do you want to advertise, somebody smoking pot all the time, which a lot of kids do, or their favorite rock band. And now I see, you see all sorts of kind of ghastly things that people are advertising by wearing a t-shirt or a hat. And so I often always tried to find t-shirts that my son would wear, but that promoted world peace, that promoted loving each other, promoted oneness, and and he was okay most of the time with that. And Russell, it's so interesting because of this pandemic and everybody's covering their faces with all kinds of scary shit, man. With monster teeth coming at you, and I'm like, and all you can, and then they also have sunglasses on. So it's like, I can't even see their eyes to go, are they human beings in there? Or are they just creepy creeps, of course, I have a mask that says love. My husband has a mask that says kindness, so I love looking at your stuff because it is a positive message that goes out into the world every time you leave your home. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the attempt. It's just to subtly, and without being too much in your face, just let people express exactly that. Express the fact that we're people who are filled with hope. Not all of us are, as you know. It's sad to say, not all of us are filled with hope, but a lot of us are. A lot of us think that the more we recognize the similarities that we have with every other human being in the world, the better place the world's going to be.
Yeah. And I'll just share with everybody, I try and be as positive and as empowered as I can. And, my spiritual practice has grown over the summer. And, last week I hit a pit of despair. I mean, it was worse than What's in Princess Bride, the movie, but it lasted about 24 hours, but I didn't know how I was going to climb out until I got out, until I talked to a friend and then I lifted up. But it's true, Russell. There is, to say one hope, if we can focus on hope and not division, if we can focus on oneness and not division, if we can focus on that we're one people and not on shaming and blaming and attacking each other for our different opinions or appearances, like I just did with the people with the creepy mask. Sorry, guys.
No, it's really true that there are people in our country and every country, unfortunately, who are choosing this moment in time to sow division and to try to separate us and have us all attack one another and cause chaos and thereby achieve their ends. But thank goodness that there are others who are convinced that it's exactly the wrong approach to take, and that we have to at our great peril acknowledge that we have tons in common, all of us. And in our tagline, when we talk about we share a common hope. We all want productive lives for ourselves. We want our children's lives to be better than our lives have been. We want safety. We want a clean and safe planet. Who doesn't want those things?
Right.
The people who sow division want those very same things, of course.
Exactly. And it's interesting, Russell, and during this whole lockdown shut out, and as people come back into the world with whatever their choice is about being vaccinated or not, what I'm seeing now is a whole nother level of division happening, not because you're going to get COVID or I'm going to get COVID, or maybe you didn't, and you survive, but that if you don't follow the rule, then you're a bad person. And then you get lumped in a box as labeled bad person, scary person. And that's not the truth of everybody. We are these unique individuals that have so much, like you just mentioned, so much in common because we're one human race. Yeah.
And we have work to do. I mean, we have to join forces, join hands, and we've got real problems that can be solved. I don't think things are hopeless, but I think I think the problems that the planet faces are significant, and they're going to require creativity, and they're without question, as I say, going to require that we work in unison. And we're just very well served to, in our own, each of us in our own little way, work toward that idea and that reality of unity and oneness. It's essential.
Yeah, as you were speaking, I was hearing the phrase creative collaboration, finding ways that we can collaborate and work together creatively to come up with better solutions that are positive for not only our bodies, but for the planet. So this is all fascinating to me. So there was when I saw the images for your t-shirts and everything, and the tagline, "One Planet, One People, One Hope," it reminded me of the Baha'i Faith. And I got introduced to that when I was 19. I had already started my spiritual questing at that unripe age. And I met a man who was Baha'i, and he started explaining to me that their beliefs is that we're all one, and one planet, one people, and one humanity. And that was a religion that started in the 1800s, because here's what I learned. Most religions, for lack of a better phrase, religions, started with what the people that follow it believe was the messenger, right? So like Abraham was the messenger for Judaism, and Buddha was a messenger for Buddhism, and Jesus was a messenger. So you get my drift. So and there's been many messengers that are still coming on the planet. Hello, I think there's a lot of them here right now. If you just listen to somebody who's speaking like Russell about oneness and one people, you will hear the message, right? And so the Baha'i Faith was founded by these two men that incarnated and were speaking truth. They were speaking truth of unity, of oneness, of collaboration, of working together to create a global civilization, which that phrase alone might scare people, but we are global citizens. This is what we've learned through the pandemic. And if you didn't learn it, you might want to review the last 2 years and take a refresher course, because we're global citizens now, right? So it's fascinating to me that these themes continue on, right? And it's so funny, Russell, right before we came on, I was hearing the Bob Marley song, One Love, One Love. Yes. And that could be added. One planet, one people, one hope, one love. We could go on forever.
About the Marley song. And I don't know much about the Baha'is, but let me tell you a fun little story. My mom, who's 94 and lives near us in Scottsdale, was formerly the business manager of an Episcopal summer camp outside Telluride, Colorado. And she and the board rented the camp to members of the Baha'i Faith for several years. And so she was around these folks a lot, and she just loved these Baha'is. She thought they were the coolest people. And of course, they were not Episcopalians by a long shot, but they were inclusive. They were, that's what their message was inclusivity. And I remember my introduction to the Baha'is comes from my mom. And as I say, she's not out there in any particular way at all, but she was just taken by the generosity of spirit and the universal sense that the Baha'i people had, that, hey, we are all in this together, and that really struck her.
Yeah, well, and that's the truth. When we drop into the truth of our being, that there's only one operating here in, through, and around as me or as you or as anybody, when we drop into that and recognize it, accept that as the universal truth that all people everywhere are one, then it becomes easier to generate that love and that kindness and be inclusive. It just is like well, to me, it's a no-brainer. I think other people have no brain.
It's interesting. One of the cool things about e-commerce these days is that you can sell to people around the world. Products are created around the world, and international borders are really kind of meaningless in a commercial sense these days. That's something I like. But it's curious to note that in this country, and Susan, you know this really well, that we're a big enough country and we're a self-focused enough country that we forget that there are a lot of other human beings who don't live in the US of A, and the more international we can be as Americans, the better citizens of the world we will be, obviously. That goes without saying. But the more we recognize that the world extends far beyond the borders of the United States, that's a really good thing. It's a really
I'm with you. I'm with you, Russell. I am totally with you on that. And certainly in my, that's part of what I do on Empowering Chats is if I find somebody who last year I went to when it was open for just a little bit, right? My spouse and I went to a pop-up farmers market kind of thing. And I met a young woman who was working with artisans in Uganda and bringing beautiful shoes and jewelry and stuff to help support these women. And that was her mission, not to make money herself, but to support these women in making money so they can raise their children. And I was like, we're going to have a conversation, just random places when you're open to when you have the awareness that we're all connected in our hearts. We don't have to think the same thing. We don't even have to necessarily believe everything the same, but at least to recognize that we're all connected in our heart. Then the people that you are wanting to connect with or work with or participate with just naturally show up in a way that that enriches your life if you allow it.
Oh, it enriches your life enormously, or it certainly can. And I think that's something that we would love to, in our own little way, share via this business, is that acknowledging this big truth doesn't make you tinier, it makes you bigger.
More expansive, right? And I would suggest everybody, it makes you healthier.
Yes.
Because your heart runs the body. Basically, it pumps the blood and it moves stuff in and out and all that. And if you are also in that awareness of love centered in your heart, that is a vibration, then that also clarifies your physical body. That's my experience thus far, personally. So there's one of the images you have on your shirts, Russell, that is, it's a hand, but it looks like a dove. What is that?
It's the international human rights symbol, and it actually came out of a contest that the governments of several countries in Europe and Canada, not the United States, created a contest in which they asked designers to come up with a symbol that would represent human rights. And the winning design came from someone in the Czech Republic, as I recall. And it's a really cool combination of the dove of peace and a hand, which is the hand that represents action. The idea being that if we want to achieve human rights and the best possible outcome for all of us individually, we have to work at it. We have to be active. And it's a symbol that is made usable without any kind of fees to anyone who wants it. That's how we're able to use it.
Oh, wow.
It's a gorgeous symbol because you once see both the hand and you see the dove of peace. It's really cool. I'm glad
it was one of them that caught my attention immediately. when I was scrolling through. And now, and I want to let everybody know, you also have some canvases with these images, right?
Yes, posters and framed canvases, and we have offer a variety of things for sale. And you know, obviously, as I mentioned, we're just starting, we're just getting underway with our business, and we're not sure what people will respond to. Except I will share that I'm delighted that that Asian symbol that I talked about a bit earlier is it resonates with people. It does, and that makes me happy because I thought it would.
Yeah, awesome. It's awesome, Russell. So, one planet, one people.com.
That's it.
And I invite everybody to go and look. You know, Christmas is coming, you know, and even if Christmas wasn't coming, these would be extraordinary gifts to give people. I'm already thinking about which canvas I'm going to give to whom because I like to give unique, different gifts. And I think it's a wonderful way to do it. Russell, I'm so thrilled for you guys.
Thank you so much. And, you know, we're greatly appreciative, Susan. And sure, you and anyone else, we'd love to invite to visit our store online. And if something does resonate with you, wonderful. But most of all, it's this message that we all are wise to share, whether we're wearing it or otherwise speaking it. And that's that we live on this planet together, and we're wise to understand that.
Yeah. And it's time. It's really time. I mean, it was time 2 years ago. It was time 50 years ago. It's time, people. So just reach out your hand and let yourself experience the oneness of humanity. Russell, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. It's great to say hello, and thanks for this time this morning. Thank you.
Great. So I'm just going to end with, and so it is, namaste.